What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cali Mack on the track, and Never Whack Bring It Back, and I am here with Sounds of the Future TV, about to do a dope-ass interview. Let's get it, baby.
Is that 508?
Yeah. No, I'm back in this shit. I'm just back in this shit. I'm back in this shit. I'm just back in this shit. Whoa. No, I'm back in this shit. I'm back in this shit. I'm back in this shit. Yeah.
What's up, it's Nolan. This is Sounds of the Future TV, back with another interview. Who we here with today?
That boy Cali Mack on the track. Come on now, man.
Thank you so much for joining us. So just to start off, just introduce yourself to the audience. Let us know what you're here for, what you do.
Oh, I go by Cali Mack, as you already know, you feel me? I'm a rapper slash producer slash singer slash streamer slash gamer. I does it all, man. Renaissance man, feel me? Here promoting my new album. It was nice while it lasted. Just dropped in December, so check that out. Yeah, we out here, man.
So I want to talk about the origin story a little bit. I want to get into how you first started making music. What really inspired you to take that career path? I
started when I was 13. I was in middle school. And, you know, I always liked music. And then at one point I was just like, yo, I could do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, why not type shit? You know what I mean? So I had a little notebook in middle school, a little tiny journal, and I would write rhymes in it and stuff. And then I was doing that for years. And then when I turned 16, I had a notebook full of rhymes. It was a whole album. Mm-hmm. And then I met some boys in my high school. Shout out my boy Terbeezy. I met my boys in high school, and they put me in the booth. It was a little booth in the closet and shit. Like, it was some real ghetto shit, but it gave me that first platform to really delve into the music, you know what I mean? So
to fast forward, and now you just mentioned that you just dropped a project. Get into the creation of that project a little bit. What went behind the name? You know, some features on it. Anything really production wise? What was your story for it?
Well, the album's called "It Was Nice While It Lasted." Out now everywhere. Feel me? It came from, there's this cartoon show. It's not a cartoon, it's an adult cartoon, BoJack Horseman. Yeah. It's one of my favorites, I can't lie. If you haven't watched it, it's peak. But the very last episode is called "It Was Nice While It Lasted." Mm-hmm. And when one of the characters in the show dropped the title, I'm like, yo, that shit just hit me. And it really just, like, the phrase itself is just so relevant, like, because things are just so fleeting. This life is so fleeting, and you got to be able to take things as they come and go, and all the while look back and say, yo, it was nice while it lasted, you know what I mean? So that was definitely the theme of the album. I tried to make a lot of songs just about life and things coming and things going, and be able to just let things be as they are, you know what I mean?
So you ever feel like in life you struggle with that? You know, a lot of people, especially when pressures come, you know, whether it be like financial issues, family issues, whatever comes with life, you ever feel like it was kind of hard for you to just be in that moment and be, or were you able to kind of progress to that point now, or you feel like you're still kind of chasing that thing?
It's hard, man. It's hard. I'm sure, you know, everybody knows life gets hard, you know what I mean? But I actually think creating this album gave me a way to learn how to cope with the things that I go through in life, and to be able to gain that mindset, that mentality, to be able to just maneuver through all the bullshit that happens. Because it is hard. And, you know, we've all taken our beatings and been brought down, you know what I mean? And it gets really hard sometimes. But yeah, being able to create this music and really sit in this theme of this album definitely helped me learn how to cope and move. I've grown as a person off this album. This album took me 4 years. I think, the oldest song I made on this album was 2019. And then the latest song I made was 2024, 2 years ago. So yeah, this album is over the course of 4 years. So over those 4 years, I've learned a lot. I've grown as a person. And yeah, this album helped me with that, for sure.
Dope. So I also want to talk about, I guess, the music industry as a whole too. You know, as you progress in your career, I know you're basically a veteran at this point in music, so I want to talk
10
about
10 plus, come on now.
Yeah, let's talk about you know, the major labels and stuff like that. You know, a lot of artists, especially in this day and age, they like to take the independent route because it's more accessible now. You know, they can promote themselves through social media and all that. Right. But, you know, also there's still those dreams attached to wanting to, you know, be attached to a label, getting that recognition, you know, getting the
of course,
you know, the push from an actual label. Is that something that you would want to access in the future, or do you feel like more comfortable staying with your own team and being independent and stuff like that? And why would you make that decision?
I'm for wherever the money's at, man. I don't want to be shallow, but I'm trying to do this to survive, to eat. I want to be able to do this for a living as my job. I want to be able to do this to the point where I can tour and do merch and drop music, and that funds my lifestyle. And I don't got to live lavish. I don't got to be like top of the top. I just need to be able to survive. And if that path involves a major label, then I'm for it. I'm not going to say that that's my ideal goal necessarily, because I think at the end of the day, everybody wants to be independent. You want to be able to own your own stuff and drop on your own time and do everything in your own pace, your own way, But if the right opportunity comes, I'm definitely not going to turn the other way. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm trying to eat, man. We all trying to eat at the end of the day,
So to build off that question too, what would you say has been the hardest part about being an artist in general? Like a lot of people, even in past interviews, have kind of expressed the point of, self-promotion, consistency, stuff like that. What would you say personally is the hardest part for you being an artist?
Consistency, faith. I think faith is probably the hardest thing. There's a lot of times, I'm not a jealous person and I don't like to be envious, you know what I mean? But I think sometimes it's just human nature to watch other people and see these guys doing better. And I know I'm nice, you know what I mean? And I know I'm better than him, her, et cetera, et cetera. And to see some of these people, and I wish everybody the best. I don't want anybody to take this as shade. I wish everybody the best. But to see some of these people just go through the moon while I'm still here, and it's hard to still keep that confidence sometimes that this is what I need to be doing, that I can do this. I have the ability to get to that level as well. It's hard, but you got to keep the faith.
To talk about kind of a question we touched on earlier, but you kind of utilize music as an outlet to express I guess those feelings, and also just life feelings in general of does music serve as like a therapeutic thing for you in that sense?
Oh yeah, I'd be in a real dark place if it wasn't for music, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. This shit is everything, man. I can't lie. You know what? I tell artists this a lot when I meet artists and I talk to other artists, especially newer ones. Like I tell them, you got to take advantage of the ability to express your feelings in a creative way. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people just aren't artists or creative or have any type of skill like that. So a lot of them don't know how to express themselves. And even if you can't express yourself to somebody else, you have the ability to put it on paper, your notepad, and your phone, wherever you write your music. You know what I mean? You have that ability that outlet. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't have that, and you should be happy that you can take advantage of that.
Yeah. So now I want to shift into the future a little bit. I want to talk about maybe 5 years from now, obviously building off this project, and maybe direction wise, where do you see your career going, and maybe where do you see I guess your sound going in that sense too?
Well, the goal within the next 5 years is to be living off the music. As I said before, that's the number one goal. I want to just be able to drop music, tour, merch, etc., and be able to just live off that. My sound is so, I feel like I hear it a lot. I'm just so versatile. I don't want to toot my own horn, you know what I mean? But I hear it all the time that my sound is just so versatile, and it's hard for me to pinpoint where I'll see my sound in the next 5 years. Like, for example, back in January, I dropped a album called Drill and Beat. It was a blend of the sexy drill and pure R&B. So I was doing a lot of singing, but over the drill beats, and a lot of drill music over R&B beats. So it was a nice blend. And 2-3 years ago, I would have never saw myself doing that. I'm not the biggest drill fan in the world, so I would have never saw myself doing that. But as time goes and you grow, your taste change, your brain develops. You just, ideas formulate, things change. So it's hard to pinpoint where my sound will be, but I know I'm gonna be up for sure. Manifestation.
Yes, sir. To talk about manifestation too, and you mentioned faith earlier too. How big of a role does those factors play in your career as well? Because a lot of artists, are really intentional with the decisions they make in terms of, writing down what they want to do and their goals and stuff like that. and, you know, people's faith in God and stuff like that. Is that stuff that you also practice like heavily on a daily basis?
Honestly, I literally just recently started really writing down things that I want. Especially, it's funny that you said 5 years, because I shit you not, 2 months ago, I sat down and wrote down a 5-year plan. Like literally what I want to be in the next 5 years. I wrote down my next year entirely. I have my whole next year mapped out, what I want to do every month. So I've definitely started to get into, I'm not a super heavy, like people doing vision boards and stuff. I'm not super heavy into it, you know what I mean? But I'm definitely trying to organize my faith a little bit more, because I think that that's very important. It's hard to just blindly go around and hope you're gonna blow up, hope something's gonna happen. You know what I mean? You gotta organize and attack it properly. You know what I mean?
Facts. So I got 2 more questions for you. I want to talk about, I know you just dropped a project. Do you have any more I guess projects, singles, stuff you want to promote? Any shows coming up?
I'm doing a lot of singles this year. This year is single heavy. I dropped 3 projects last year. So last year was the project year. This year is the single year. So I'm gonna be dropping singles every month, every other month, something like that. So be on the lookout for those. No shows yet, but you know, I do shows throughout the year. So make sure you guys follow the socials. And you know, you'll always keep in touch whenever I'm doing shows, things like that, you know?
Thanks. So last question. I'm actually just change it up today. So usually it's called words of wisdom, but today we're going to call it words of the future. You got any words of the future for the audience?
Words of the future?
Yeah, that you want to leave with them, like maybe advice, you know, anything you want to, you know, get out to the people.
Yo, don't give up, man. Don't give up. It don't matter what happens, how hard things are getting, how tough life is. Don't give up, because in this life, we only got 2 choices, man. We either keep going or we give up. And that's all we got, man. I ain't gonna lie. That was the intro to one of my songs. I ain't gonna lie. Don't tell nobody, though. Don't tell nobody.
Hey, that was tough, though. Hey, appreciate you for joining us.
Yes,
That's
sir,
another
yes, sir.
episode of Sounds of Future TV. Excited to see where you go with the rest of your career. That's another episode. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Back in the field, back like I never left, ready to spill. Only got 1 shot, I go for the kill. Could've went platinum with thoughts if a drill, but I found a better way without a deal. And that's